Okay, so we're now live. I'll share the screen and we'll get started. Okay, so we'll begin with roll call.
Okay, give me a minute. 1 second. I'm not
I should
gonna
probably blur my background again.
not gonna text.
These political signs don't represent my ability to run this meeting. Just want to clarify that.
Okay. Attendance. Naya,
Hello.
Musab,
Yeah, here.
Carol,
Here.
Mo.
Here.
I am here. Taya,
I'm here.
Miriam,
Here.
De Silva,
Here.
Chinmay,
Here.
Tanvi,
Here.
Aisha,
Here.
Eddie.
Here.
What the heck? Sorry, guys. My Wi-Fi is not connected. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Eddie, sorry, you're here. Sorry. Ishika,
Here.
Kushi,
Here.
Aiden Shaughnessy, Ben,
Here.
okay, Ryan Kwong,
Here.
Yadu,
Here.
Drulu,
Here.
Stanley,
Here.
Amira,
Here.
Samyam,
Here.
Charmaine,
Here.
Solon,
Here.
ZK,
Here.
Sophie,
Here.
Ryan Lurin,
Here.
um, Advet, Rafa, Kustav,
Wait, I'm here. Rafa is here.
sorry, Kustav, Asim, Minna, Kennedy, Jeffrey.
Here.
Oh, was that Minna or was that
That was
Kennedy?
Kennedy.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. Anjali, Alexa,
Here.
Gracie,
Here.
Madiha,
Here.
AJ, Nina,
Go.
Here.
David,
President.
Catherine,
Here.
Morlake, Emily,
Here.
Melinda,
Here.
Sahasra, Kaylin,
Here.
Hanaya, Alex,
Here.
Simon,
Here.
Jocelyn Vargas,
Here.
Sophia Chen,
Here.
Pablo Cherkis,
Here.
Simi,
Here.
Ruhan,
Here.
Sebastian, Kavance, Nuf,
Here.
Khalil,
Here.
Ridvik,
Here.
sorry, Josim,
Here.
Aryan, Jocelyn Cruz,
Here.
Maddie,
Here.
Jack Terrell,
Here.
Nicole, Aditya,
Here.
Pablo Tang,
Here.
and Bobia. Okay. Any members of the public?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Thanks,
Here.
Victoria. Oh,
Julia,
sorry.
that was Catherine.
Oh, hi, Catherine. Sorry. Okay, that's it. Aiden.
Wonderful. So we'll now have 10 minutes of open forum. This is much harder because I can't see everyone. But if anyone wants to unmute, go ahead. I guess I don't have to call on you. Yes, sir.
I guess I wanted to follow up what I just sent to the CAB group chat, but like some classes have decided that instead of having online lecture, that they're going to have a lecture during reading days. And I guess I was curious if someone could speak to on like the policy on that and like whether or not like there is anything we can do about like these professors since it is kind of in their discretion.
Carol, can I respond?
Yes, ma'am.
They can't, per like university policy, they can't hold classes on reading days. Reading days means that there's not supposed to be any classes. I think that professor was just confused. I saw that message on side chat. Still waiting to hear back from Gary Papora about the drop deadline. So I'm sure this will also be addressed. I have sent over that message to him as well from that professor. So yeah, but they can't hold classes there, and it would have to be the university would have to shift everything in order for them to sit there and try to hold classes. But also because classes are on Zoom, the classes is not canceled. So
You can't even book a room for
Can I
reading.
say something real quick to that note?
Sure.
Anytime professors have like these classes on reading days, it's like they will say it's optional, but like recommended, right? So it's just like not nice overall because I mean you'll probably get something useful out of going even if it's reading days and they're
Okay.
not supposed to have anything.
So have you had this before besides like a
Yes,
review
this has
session?
happened before, and it
And it
was
went,
not a review session.
boy, okay. Just over
I had
to a follow.
Yeah, I had a part two. I'm so sorry, Carol.
No,
I-
you're good.
I guess but be so real now. Yes, I am doing my laundry. What's it called? No, I guess I also wanted to ask like since this is going to be a very different snowstorm, I guess are we going to be communicating I guess with Frez on what their timeline's going to be for cleanup, etc., just so we hopefully don't repeat a lot of the same mistakes from like last snowstorm?
yeah, I can ask them. I think what they're going to respond and say is, I mean, I think since this has happened, we have a little bit more experience. Like, hopefully they'll be able to respond a bit differently this time. You guys saw the very PR written email they had sent to me prior. But hopefully if we get ahead of it, we can ask. I think you just have to be careful, or else it seems as like we're being unappreciative and whatnot. But I will ask them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Khalil and Rafa.
Oh, I had a question about also like the asynchronous lectures. Are they allowed to like publish like longer than usual lectures?
I don't think that there's anything that would prohibit them from doing anything. I think if it's a Zoom class, it should be held at regular scheduled hours. And I would say that if it goes over your scheduled like class time, then you would send an email saying I have another class, I have another thing to do. And just that there's not really that much guidance right now besides the fact that they are actually allowed to have them this time.
Also, I'll just follow up on that. Attendance is optional kind of thing in the email they sent. What happens if professor like obligates attendance or like does an engagement activity in class? Can we email like department or someone or
Well, I saw that there was an email sent out from Wharton Operations or Wharton Undergraduate Division saying that it was like something about synchronous classes, and in order for them to be flexible, they're trying to, or students shouldn't be held against them. like it shouldn't be held against students. I think the email was worded poorly. I think that what they're saying is that if for some reason a professor is trying to hold a class in person, then students shouldn't be held against attendance. But I don't think that Zoom attendance is optional. I think that Zoom attendance is regularly scheduled class.
Well, it depends how you read that email because it says like they have to provide accommodations. Like there's a line in there. I think you could make a case where you could say like you can't require this because it's a suspension of normal operations. I don't know if Simon had a
From
point.
the normal operations email or from
Yeah,
the
from the
wording?
normal operations email.
Okay, I'll follow up about that.
Wait, from what I was able to read, it sounded like it was you wouldn't be penalized if you're like unable to join. And at least in one of my classes, it was you won't be penalized if you miss and you like email us saying like, oh, sorry, like it was because of a tech issue or it was something because of this. So um it sounds like if you're unable to join because it's virtual, that's where it's not penalized. But other than that, like you should still be required to go if it's not a technical issue, it seems.
Dean Strug just sent an email and it didn't clarify about being penalized or requiring attendance. So, anything else for open forum?
Actually, yes, I have one thing to ask. I wasn't sure if it should go in any of the other meeting categories because of how much of a case study this is, but one of one of my friends has AP credits for physics, mechanics, and physics 1 and APC mechanics, and then she has to take 2 semesters of physics, but she can't take like easy physics classes, and obviously she doesn't really want to take physics classes. And she said that they're not helping her like be able to take a second semester of physics that's an easy mechanics course, because the only option then is to take like the honors physics course, which is like, really, bro? Yeah, I was wondering if, I mean, I know it's a very specific case, but I was wondering if anything could be said about that.
All I know about this because I had like a talk about it like before about APs in general. Like professors, like departments are free to set their AP like guidelines however they like. So there's no law of like power of the advising team or like the academic team of any school on their like AP requirements.
The problem though is like for I think some sort of pre-med requirement that you have to take like on your transcript you have to have 2 semesters of physics classes, but like her only option for the second physics class is like the honors physics class, and they're not like letting her, or like they're not helping with making other physics courses an option for her. And I was wondering if like anything could be done about that.
Do you know who she spoke to? Sorry.
Low key, I forgot.
Okay. I feel like she should speak to the department chair of physics or like the undergrad chair.
I will relay. Thank you.
All right, any other topics for open forum? We have 2 minutes and 15 seconds left.
Motion to elapse open forum.
Second.
Thank you. Oh, how the hell are we gonna do this? All all elected members in favor, could you please raise your hand on with the Zoom raise hand feature? And Mukhtar, could you remove your hand, please, so it doesn't mess up the count?
Help, how do you do that?
I don't even know how many. Hold on. I need to like think about this because I don't know how many people are here. Um hmm.
Wait, you
Okay,
can
we'll
just,
go
if
with
you click
that.
on participants, you can see how many hands are up. It's like,
I'm gonna give
checking
folks
that now.
another 10 seconds to vote, and then I'm gonna ask if there are any opposed. I think we do have a majority here. 14. We don't even have 30 elected members. Okay, all right. I'm gonna end that. So now I'm gonna ask you to remove your vote. Please, everyone, lower your hand. So if you lowered the hand, appreciate it. And then any opposed, I'll give a couple minutes for folks to vote. We actually have till 11:30. I don't know if you guys saw the Zoom, but I have this scheduled till 11:30 because that's what I put on the calendar. Okay, seeing that there aren't any opposed, motion clearly passes. We'll move on to the report section. Naya, please take it away.
Dang, I don't get applause on
Oh.
here. Hello, my lovelies. I hope you all are enjoy you all are enjoying your hope y'all are enjoying your snow day. Obviously I sent out an all school email trying to address some of the questions that I was getting. There's still a lot of things that are not currently resolved, so I will be I'm trying to hear back from Gary Papora. He's looking ghost me right now, but Leah Popovich is on it, so I'll let you guys know if I hear something. And then we'll probably send out an all school if it's deemed necessary. All right, guys. As for my past meetings, I had my two one-on-ones with Katie Bonner. I had a pin forward reception at Jameson's. He gave me this really cool, or gave us all like this really cool, like little Benjamin Franklin trophy that was designed from a design student here at Penn. So that was pretty cool. I met Ramanan, the board of trustees chair. That was really cool. But aside from that, also cabinet met with Setley. We just talked about classroom shifts, equity tensions that come when it comes to like medical slash sicknesses, and then open expression stuff. Just look at the minutes in the drives. I don't think there was anything too pertinent here, so we just recommend looking at the minutes there. Cabinet was supposed to meet with athletics, and that was rescheduled to March 4th. Had University Council on the 18th. Cabinet was also supposed to meet with SRFS, which also was rescheduled to March 5th. So lots of upcoming admin meetings. Musab and I met with Karu on Thursday. We talked further about campus ICE protocols. And because of that, we're hoping to set up a joint meeting with DPS and UC reps. Actions to come next are tentative. We just like highly emphasize the importance of trying to get clarification on communication around ICE protocols. So we'll see what happens there. I had my one-on-one with Gary Porpora on Thursday as well, and we discussed the finals policy. I'm going to be writing something up to send to get approved by the undergraduate dean, specifically around like, for example, I know we talked about potentially having Saturday exams in an effort to kind of extend our break. So we'll see how that goes. And then also the snow day operations. When I had this meeting with him, new communications are being written up regarding the Zoom policy for classes on snow days, which is what you guys saw today. It was much more thorough this time, not in the text, but in the email. So that was really helpful, but obviously there's still a lot of things that need to be worked out there. Mo and I met with Penn nursing students, including Ryan and some other nursing reps from class board, talking about their class scheduling concerns. And because I received an email asking for advocacy on basically students are getting placed in clinical slots like they did not slide up for. There's a lot of there's a lot of issues with this, and I think you guys have probably seen the DP articles that are going out. A lot of things, nursing students are kind of just getting screwed over here. So we're trying to see what we can do in terms of getting clarification on their scheduling policies. Upcoming meetings, I have one with Katie Bonner. And then cabinet is meeting. We have 7 upcoming meetings. This next 2 weeks are going to be really rough for us. We have ISSS, DPS, EVP, Business Services, Career Services, Athletics, and SRFS. So with that being said, I sent out a form to collect agenda topics. At this moment in time, there are currently only 10 responses, half of which you guys are trying to be funny. For example, for the Career Services response, you said, get me an internship. So with that being said, I'm going to send this form in here again and ask you guys to get some questions. But in the meantime, if anyone would like to just shout out questions live, we can do that. Yeah, we have an insane lineup, truly. Like I think we're pretty excited for it, like the best lineup possible for like the next 2 weeks. But because of that, we just need to get agenda topics, and a lot of these I have to send out by tomorrow morning. I've already gotten lots of emails.
Get off.
What?
That's rough. That's awkward.
Yeah, slightly. Anyways, so I'll try to just give a couple minutes, but If I have to sit here and wait to get responses for every single one of these, then I will, but I don't want us to have to do that. So let's try to fill out this at the same time as you're saying these things out loud. Aiden Da Silva.
This is a point of personal inquiry, it relevant to stuff I've asked my committee, but how many of those responses are DHT?
Oh, good response. Good question. It's looking like DHT 2.
Yo, y'all don't want me to do the dare, I guess. That's your guys' problem.
And I will probably say the EI has 5 responses. So thank you, EI. As for the rest of the committees, please step up. But in the
Who's the
meantime,
EI committee
out
director?
loud. It is currently myself.
Oh, just checking.
Don't slander my goat Pierce.
We miss Pierce. Pierce showed up at our social on Friday. That was really fun. Mo.
Hold on. I'm gonna stop. We're on.
Mo.
Okay, probably for EVP. I know we talked about it last semester, but ask again about basically why undergraduates cannot get more money if we're paying more tuition every year. Because this question was brought up by a lot of branches during budget season, and tech people as well. So
For EVP. Okay. Also, bear with me here. I can't split screen. Split screen any more than what I already have, so I can't see the Zoom right now. Aiden De Silva, do you have another one?
Oh, no, is my hand still up? Sorry.
Yes. Any questions for ISSS?
Updates regarding the like ICE, like I know we talked with Carew and DPS, but I'd be interested to see what they have to say about immigration status currently.
also recent email and DP article about asking international students to hold legal documentation wherever they are, on campus, or also probably everywhere, but yeah.
Question also about I wrote that in the format just try to like more. But yeah. How are they preparing for the new visa season? Like everyone's getting visa next like couple of months, like new people or like transition from OPT to H1B or like F1 to OPT. Like how are they preparing? Or did they learn any lessons from last year's like season? Are there like any new measures they're taking?
Okay, thank you. Any more questions for ISSS?
Yes. So for filing taxes, international students use a separate service and it costs around like $100. And currently they subsidize for everyone like a $50 voucher. Can we talk about where they get the funding from that and if they're looking into like fully subsidizing the cost? Because
What
a
is
lot of
this
people
for?
like filing taxes, we use like a separate platform. So it's like paying the fees for that platform to do that.
Just to add on that question, can we know like the timeline of that like fee? Because usually they send it like early March, which is not very early, but still not late, but not very early in the tax reporting season. Can they send it a bit early, like mid-February, as we all get our tax reports on?
Yeah, they currently send it end of February, so it's not early, but yeah.
Okay. Any more questions for ISSS? And the response form is still sitting at 10, so we'll continue to do live questions until we get more questions.
Are we going back to EVP or not?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are we going back to EVP or not?
We will work down the list. Sorry. Okay. If you have any more questions for ISSS, please let me know. This is all things international students. Yes. DPS, Division of Public Safety.
I want to clarify which radios they have and who can communicate with who because we use a different frequency than Philly and then Drexel. And so I know the sergeants have the Philly radio, but I like who can Drexel talk to Penn directly? Can Penn talk to SEPTA? Can SEPTA talk to Penn? Can Amtrak talk to Penn? And then I also had a question just about bollards. It's been pretty poor. I know that was going to be a focus coming up on America 250 in the World Cup, but they seem to be down quite frequently.
Okay. More questions for DPS?
Yeah, I want to follow up. I think I believe you asked them about basically what we do, what can we do if we see an allied security guard falling asleep at their shift. They I don't know what the response. What was the response? Can you remind me? Nah, I don't remember.
They said to call DPS to report it.
Yeah, but like, do they want us to like, take pictures or proof of that? Like, what is, like tangible? Like, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
also, like a few days ago, I walked into Radiant. No one from the office was there, like security, and two people just literally like they do live in the building, just like walked in and went up the elevator. So like, I don't know if I should report it or something, but yeah.
Okay.
Maybe also, how long's our contract with Allied? When do we review that contract?
Okay.
I also have a like question about I don't know if it's true about the homeless man in the quad
Oh, yes.
and like how that manifested itself and like how he got there in the first place.
Does
And
anyone know, was there actually a homeless man in the quad? No one knows.
Sorry, it was just me. My bad. Bad hair day.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll follow up on that. I'm not sure how much of an answer we'll be able to get, but any more questions for Division of Public Safety regarding allied guards, campus safety, cameras, etc.?
Overtime usage, they didn't tell us last time. Also, I just remembered, I've been trying to remember. They were doing traffic details for the road closure on Spruce, which is normally something that Philly does. So I'm wondering why they were doing those details. Were they then paying their officers overtime and then using more of our budget? Um, Curious on that. Also curious on the union. When's their CBA? When did they do those negotiations? What's the policy? I'm kind of rambling here. I'll stop in a second. What's the policy if there's a use of force incident? Do they ever release body cam footage? If there happened to be a officer involved shooting, would they release body cam footage publicly, like a lot of cities or municipalities do? I'll stop now.
Okay. Any more for Simi and Solon?
At two things, like one on 40th, I think like Tuesday or Wednesday, I think there was a hit and run. I was wondering like if they had any like reports about that. I don't think anyone was hurt, but I think it was just like they crashed into a car or something. And then when I was coming back on Friday from Hill, apparently like somebody got like pushed down or like I don't know, there's like a argument or whatever. And like the police ended up showing up and stuff like that. And I'm wondering like if there's been like an uptick in like violent incidents and stuff like that.
It was just like a random civilian pushed down a random.
He was in Hill. But like I think it was an argument over like crossing or something like that. I'm not sure if like the person came out of the car to like attack them or something or like but yeah. I just saw a bunch of police.
Okay, thank you. De Silva?
This is a very low key one. I was just
Oh
thinking
yeah, can we
about.
do something?
Not sure about.
What's in your galley?
Sebastian, you are unmuted.
I don't want a fucking galley.
Sebastian, you're unmuted.
I fucking hate this discourse around Sebastian.
Wait.
Sebastian, wait.
I'm gonna keep talking and let's see if he talks again. But
Silva, I mean, wait, Carol, can you mute him? Sorry. Thank you.
A second, he wants to do a what?
Wait, hold on. I used to remember how to do this. Where do I do it?
I think you can do
Oh,
it like
participants, hold on.
Select on
Yeah, participants.
Three dot. Name.
Yeah. Can you still mute yourself, Maya?
all right. Yeah, go
That's
ahead.
funny, man.
De Silva, come back.
wait, no, let Sebastian keep cooking. What was I gonna say though? Sorry, what the fuck's your background? Sorry, there's too much. I guess if we could get like statistics on the usage of walking escorts as a program and just like I guess general baseline statistics on it because it's something that like we always have to talk about when we advertise Penn, and I'm curious, like, have they kept up the program as of recently?
Okay. Mo.
Yeah, this might be more relevant. Okay, I forgot. Let's do Khalil first. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Khalil.
How do they handle like mental health related goals? I've heard like really terrible things about that, and I want to know like what's their like official protocol behind it.
Right.
And also, they have been like Penn Police not allowed like standing in like intersections, especially 34th and like 38th, like at random times. That's uh how, why are they doing that? Like just helping pedestrians to cross the road. Why are they doing that? What's the like the thought behind it, and how did they choose the sections? Because there are like 40th that needs more help than like I think 38th or something.
Okay.
I'll just say real quick, they're supposed to have a co-responder program where if there's any serious mental health call, a mental health professional responds with a Penn police officer.
Yeah.
They also have special services which deals with any victims of crimes, and they refer people to Penn Wellness as well.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
wondering.
remember Naya. This might be more Frez or EVP. I don't know. So when we have like work happening on like road closures like Spruce today in the past few days,
Mhm.
or Walnut or something, I believe they like communicate with the city or something. Do you know like if they can like update like the Google and the Uber and like Lyft routes? Because a lot of times like when you order stuff, they can't get to you and they get stuck and it's like a big hassle. I don't know like if this even like they can do anything about it. I'm just curious if we can like ask them. But I don't know who
What's
the
the specific question? Like, what do they do for Ubers?
like yeah, like maps wise, you know, like because it still says like it's available. So I'm not sure if like Penn communicates with the city that oh there will be closures and like cars are not going to drive like down these roads and stuff like that.
Wait,
Do you mind
that
if I
that closure
slightly-
I don't think is Penn related. I think that's the water, the Philly water.
Yeah, it's the city line. I mean,
Okay.
city.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna move on from DPS. Again, I would highly encourage people to respond to the form, though we don't have to continue doing this, but I'm okay with it. Next is EVP. This is the executive vice president. These are all questions regarding university budget, campus planning, human resources, strategic planning, etc. So, yes, Julia.
I don't know if this is more of a question for the provost office or for EVP, but I know that they were talking about getting more of the research funding not from the federal government and more from other sources, and I was wondering like how they were doing on that. And also, wait, I had another question, but now
You
I'm
know,
not remembering
that question is more oriented for
for the
the
provost.
but I forgot we have the provost on Friday. So we can also get topics for that after this one.
I forgot my other one, so.
Okay. Musab, I like your brown hand.
Thank you. Wait, I was born with it. Wait, endowment disclosure plus liquidation of assets.
You want us to ask once more if they're going to
Disclose endowment, yeah. Hey, as long as I am in the university, bro, I'm gonna keep pestering.
Okay. Mo.
Yeah, the new building that's closing on 34th and Market, Chipotle on Drexel's campus. It's been looking into expanding further. Plus all the expansion on Market Street with like the new buildings.
Okay. Building is closing on Market Street. I'm sorry, what is the building? Where is it at?
I'll send you its name, I forgot.
Just also the Wawa closed at 34th
and Market.
4th and Market, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Khalil.
I have two quick questions just that got in my mind. First, how will they be dealing with like the new tax on endowments? Like, will they be doing like any special ways to tax avoid that? Or how's it gonna be? Because it's gonna get up to 8%, which is huge increase. Second thing, Ben apparently owns the World's Cafe Live, and like they own, I think, the building. I don't know what's going on there, but that building just got closed by the city because of tax fraud. So, what was Ben implication in that, and if like what are their future plans for the building?
Okay. Mukhtar?
Well, I guess a little softer than complete disclosure, but maybe asking the EVP if there are any pathways or ideas for more student engagement and transparency in the endowment.
Okay. Aiden?
Curious, what happened to Urban Outfitters? Why did they close? Were their sales bad? Just had a thought about that. And then what's going there? Also the Blue Mercury that's gone as well, that's vacant. Um, there's another vacancy that I forgot about. Also can't remember if maybe this might be better for business services, but also why Brandy doesn't sell pen licensed gear.
Brandy
Really pisses
Melville?
me off. Yeah, Brandy Melville. Um,
Why
where
are
the
you
Under
asking
Armour,
questions about Brandy Melville?
which is annoying because I try to go buy stuff for myself and they don't
Wait,
sell pen
th-
licensed gear. It's the only Ivy that doesn't have it. Even Georgetown
Wait,
doesn't have
they
it.
do you have all the Ivies, like the flags up on the wall? And I'm always like, why do they have like Dartmouth and Cornell and like everyone else besides Penn, even in the
Mhm.
Philadelphia one? So
Yep.
we should bring that up.
Problem. Losing a lot of revenue.
Mm.
Okay, good question. I'm not sure if that should be directed to them or Fred, but we will find out.
Frez.
Okay. Um,
It's
any more?
Brandy.
Well, yes.
Okay, sorry.
Got it. Any other questions for the EVP? This is a really important meeting. We had to meet with Mark Dingfield himself.
Does Mark get on the phone and say we're gonna close school, or who makes that decision really? Is it him or someone below him?
It's a good question because they do say it comes out of the EVP and provost office, but not directly who makes the call. I'm assuming it's a joint collaboration, but whatever.
Can we? Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, please, Julia.
This might be another question for the provost, but the grad student strike and they just got a raise. Like, how is that affecting, if anything? I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna go with provost.
Wait, it also might be like EVP because of finances.
Okay, we'll ask
And
them.
also like maybe like implications if like undergrads want like higher payment for work study and stuff.
Okay. I think we are good on EVP. There are now 13 responses to this form, so we'll get a couple more. Provost. For Mr. John Jackson himself.
Did we have that on the forum?
Did we have a meeting with him?
No, like like questions for him on the forum.
No, I just said I totally forgot that we had that meeting, but it is now on the form as well. So you can now ask questions on the form for Provost Jackson. Mukhtar.
Given the two recent winter storms, is the provost considering phasing out or completely removing the original guidelines on snow days of no classes into just Zoom classes? Like not just for the remainder of the semester, but in subsequent semesters.
Julia.
So I guess other than my other questions, when are the open expression, like, or can we ask about open expression? Like, when are
Yes.
the open expression guidelines coming out? And also, like new policies and like new research on AI use as well. And whether that's changed since we last met with him or not.
Okay. De Silva.
I guess how he and his offices are preparing for the meeting with the NIH and Senator McCormick's office in late March, and I guess advocacy for like, university research funding especially.
Good question. Do you have another question, Silva?
No, sorry, I forgot to put down my hand.
It's okay. Other questions for the provost? Julia?
Also, like relating to De Silva's question, has communication with like the federal government been largely quiet, or are there any concerns that they reached out with to us recently about?
Okay.
Do you mind if I quickly jump to answer Julia's, I think?
Sure.
Julia, I think there was like a DP article published recently featuring Larry Jameson where I believe they said that the university hasn't been like in super extensive contact with the federal government kind of since the compact. I'll say from like the OGCA perspective, aside from the NIH and the occasional McCormick meeting, I also don't think we've been in super intensive contact with them.
We could ask, or maybe actually this might be OGCA, but I know they were spending absurd amounts on lobbying. Curious if they're still spending that much.
Okay.
Was the lobbying, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask her, like, where you saw like the amount that they spent a lot, did they specify whether it was state, local, or federal?
It was a DP article like it was I remember the headline and it might be misleading, but it was like the first quarter of 2020 five, I believe it was, they spent like $250,000 on lobbying. I think it was federal.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, if it was the first quarter, definitely federal, because I feel like OGCA definitely had their work cut out for them back when we were like dealing with the whole budget like crash down or crash out. So that could also be where a lot of money was spent if it wasn't just first quarter.
Julia, do you have another question?
Yeah. So like I guess this is like I don't know if this is more of a question for Gary Purpura, you could tell me, but like in terms of like humanities enrollment and also programs involving the humanities in terms of like study abroad and stuff like that, like are they seeing downticks? Are they like losing funding, etc., etc.? I don't know if
Mm,
that's a Gary Purpura question.
probably both, but Gary will be there anyway, so it will work out. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Any more questions for the provost? We're gonna move on. Okay, next is business services. All things dining, housing, transit. Rafa.
Yeah, so when we met with them for TAB, they said they're gonna discuss integrating the Penn Transit with Drexel Transit. Could you guys follow up with them and ask like how that's going?
Interesting.
Thank you.
It was like a briefly mentioned situation since we were discussing the app improvements primarily. And so like the idea of having it integrated with the Drexel platform as well is something that they took to like they noted at least. So
Okay, we'll see about that. Thank you. More questions for business services, Carol.
I was just home for the DC United game. We had a great win over Philadelphia Union last night, started the MLS season. But I noticed when I was back that there was a mailer from Penn Dining, like encouraging me to enroll in the upper class dining plan. Curious how much money they spend on direct mail, if they think it's a good use of their resources, and why they're sending to people's home addresses if they're trying to target, like, I assume they're trying to target parents. But just wondering how much they spend on that and their success rate with that.
Interesting. De Silva.
Oh, actually, Rafa can go ahead if she wants. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just really quick question, but so this is really specific. So when Halal was closed, they had like kosher meals and Grauman's, and they were really good. And I'm curious, like, first of all, how was that process of like, well, who did they just use like the Halal chefs and just like package the meals, or was it another vendor? And is there a possibility of having that like be a permanent thing? Because they're very good meals.
Wait, do you mean
Wait,
like kebab
yes,
meals?
I literally had that today. They made chicken wraps. Sorry,
Also,
Rafa, to cut you off.
can we confirm if it's really kosher? Like, where are they cooking that meal or preparing that meal?
Wait, it's definitely kosher. Like it had a kosher stamp on it and like was
Yeah.
carefully like wrapped and taped up and was in like a marked kosher section in the fridge.
Wait, Tate, is
Um,
it similar to the ones that they have in Halal, or is it like a
yes,
different?
wait, I literally had it for lunch today.
Yeah, I
Could
know. I
I
tried the one in Grauman's, but I'm curious if like, because the first time they introduced it is when Halal was closed, so I was just confused why it's
Yes,
like here
yes.
again. Yeah.
Wait, they're like basically the same ingredients as the ones in Hillel, like the ones that they were selling at Grauman's. Just like not toasted, obviously, because they're in the fridge.
Cool.
Can I jump in and answer that?
Who's that?
That's Mukhtar, by the way.
Oh, yes. Well, also, wait, side note, for the purpose of the minutes, please go back to raising your hands. That way Julia can keep track. But Mukhtar, yes.
I had a conversation with dining last year, and I believe like when it came to Ramadan, and I think last year or 2 years ago, and K-Check was going to be closed. They said that with planned closures, they could prepare more food specific to a dietary restriction, and then have it be distributed at Gourmet Grocer or Commons, for example. So I think that's likely what happened. That if Hillel's closure was planned, that the chefs in that kitchen just prepared more food so that it could be packaged and frozen and distributed later on.
So worthwhile following up and asking. That's cool. Stanley?
Kind of also adding on to that question, is there any way students can like request different types of food at Grauman's?
Different types of food. Can you elaborate?
Well, I guess just like food options if they like a certain option more. I know sometimes they run out of like the quote unquote better options every once in a while, and then it's just like what people don't like eating and they kind of just sit there for a bit.
Yeah, we can ask. I'm curious to know if there's that text line that they have in there. I don't know if they advertise it in Grauman specifically. If anyone knows top of their head, please let me know. But
They
that would
do.
also probably that would probably be a good place to ask them for that as well, is to put it in that feedback form because they're pretty responsive to that. Khalil?
Just have a question. I wasn't informed, but I want to know if anyone here can help. During spring break, K-Check closed at 7 p.m. Iftar is at like a 7:01 for like most days, like 7:01 or later for most days of spring break, and they also comes. I think it's 7 p.m. How are they supposed, like the fasting students, Muslim students, are supposed to deal with that? First and second, I I know that they may say the go to boxes is an option, but also like it's not really an option. Like
The what box? The what is an option?
the go to like the green boxes that they have.
Oh, yes.
Wait, Khalil, do you mind repeating that question? What about the green to go boxes?
Like I know it's an option available. Like if that's their response, because that's that question last year, and they told me that. But like, can we advocate to not have that as an option because it's not a good option for like an iftar and like.
You won't be able to go.
So you want bigger to go? Is that the question?
Or no, just like advocate to not like let them use the excuse, oh, we have to go, so we close early.
Could I jump in and answer that?
In the context of the previous question
Yeah, it's
about
not this. Wait, sorry, Aiden. It's the context of like
they
K-Check and like all of dining calls for 7 p.m. Before iftar during like spring break. I hope that's clear. I'm sorry.
Okay. Mukhtar, do you have a response?
Yeah. The MSA regularly meets with Penn Dining on, well, not regularly, but in preparation for Ramadan, the MSA meets with Penn Dining, especially in relation to the food that is being offered for the meal swipes, as well as the K-Check Grand Iftar and when K-Check closes. I believe starting last year, due to Ramadan, they chose to have K-Check open during spring break, and they usually consult with the MSA on when to extend an hour to operations with sunset. My response a couple of weeks ago was to have K-Check close an hour later as soon as daylight savings time ends or starts, whichever one it is. So when the sunset is later in the day, K-Check will close later in the day. If you have specific issues with the time that K-Check closes specifically, I would suggest reaching out to the MSA. You can just tell me directly, honestly, and I'll relay that information. But also, we've mainly focused that communication around K-Check itself. So, for example, we haven't really asked dining to have Commons or Hill or other dining locations close later. If that's a significant need for Muslim students, we can bring that up to them when we regularly meet early in the fall / early in the spring semester.
And I'm also
and
curious.
yes, I'm sorry.
No,
They
go
did accept to extend. So I believe whenever daylight savings time happens, whether it extends or is shortened, they will have K-Check close an hour later.
I'm also curious to know, I think to my understanding, at least dining does a relatively good job at providing meals for students during Ramadan. But I think Colombia does meals for suhoor. You can come in and get an extra swipe early on between like the hours of like I don't remember they had like certain hours specifically for meals to get grabbed for suhoor before the actual hours. I'm curious to know if people think that that is something that's happening here or should happen here, or if they feel well supported.
Wait, we have it here.
Okay, cool. Any more questions for dining? Aiden Silva, yes.
I guess just like for the meal options that are available in Grauman's, are any of them also considered Jane? Because I know we opened a Jane section in Commons just to further increase food accessibility, and if like that's a dietary need that should also then be addressed in Grauman's.
In Grauman specifically?
Yeah, in Grauman's, just because like, I feel like with like the increasing frequency of snowstorms, like we want to increase like the amount of to-go options people can pick up. And then I guess the second one I wanted to ask was just like something more specific to the Pen Card Center, which I know Business Services also works with, and what's just the general process by which like, a card can be quote unquote amended, just because one of the committee-wide projects that DHT is pursuing is getting some more information on Frez's emergency number on the Pen ID.
Good. Ishka?
Yeah, real quick, I put this in the Google form, but can you ask them to for a list of all halal meat options? And I know I've spoken with the MSA about this. But whenever I go to Ivy Leaf in Houston, the workers themselves don't know if that chicken is halal. So then it's we have to go to the MSA and ask if it's halal. So just asking them to clarify exactly what meat in which dining halls counts as halal.
Is it not on like the little side, like they have usually a white sheet that says it'll have a little indication as if it's halal or not?
I didn't see that in Ivy Leaf when I've
Also
gone.
on Penn Mobile, it should say as well.
Wait, and also
Okay.
Mukhtar, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the policy that all like grilled chicken on campus is halal and anything that's like fried or breaded is not halal?
Not necessarily. The communication that we receive from Penn Dining is that all fresh chicken is halal. So if it's, I believe the language was, like 90 to 95% of the chicken used on campus is sourced from Murray's Farm, which is slaughtered halal. So the chicken itself is halal, except in the scenario of frozen chicken. So for example, I believe like the chicken tenders are not halal. And that's kind of to the point that Ishika was making. That's kind of the gray area where we're not able to have a very clear, like easy to understand language around what meat is halal. And sometimes it's not as clear on like the signage. Okay, this is halal because sometimes it includes ingredients that are not halal. I think if you are facing that concern, it is still good to bring up with dining, but also I can probably relay that to the MSA to have a better conversation of iterating on how we're having students access the food that meets their requirements while also not leading to any confusion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mookie Pookie.
And thank you. Sorry to go. I have one more thing also, for students that are fasting during Ramadan, I have evening classes that I need to break my fast during. So what's I don't know which category this falls under. It's probably not DHT, but what's the policy for missing class to go break your fast?
My understanding is that for religious purposes, you should be able to, broadly. I think Spark has messaging on it. I don't know if anyone else has a more direct response, but you should be excused. Cleo?
Actually, I think MSA also Mukhtar can help with this. But I know that you can reschedule exams, but not classes during iftar, because you can eat in class technically, but exams you can reschedule the exam, but not the class. Mukhtar, if I'm wrong, please correct me.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I would say that the most realistic option is one, communicate with your professor that, hey, I'm a Muslim, this is a religious requirement for me. So you can have exams rescheduled. I got my BEP exam rescheduled from a night to Friday morning. If you have an evening class, I would probably suggest one, communicating with your professor if you could maybe have some grace if you need to leave like maybe 20 minutes in class to eat and pray. And two, if you do feel uncomfortable doing that, or you feel that your professor is mean or difficult, you can definitely reach out directly to the Spark office or CC Steve Kosher, the associate chaplain in those emails, because they want to very much so help you get the accommodations that you need to be a student while also staying true to your faith.
Thank you guys.
Carol.
I guess why are we using frozen chicken? That's my question. Why can't it all be fresh and then all halal? Also curious what. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Curious what is slated for renovation next in terms of residential buildings. Particularly like some are a little more rough than others, like K-Check. So curious what's on tap. I know a lot of projects have been stopped due to the budget cuts, but curious if that's down the pipe.
Okay, yes. Any more questions? That's a good question in general. DRL should be coming offline soon, I believe. But they're trying to figure out what to do. That would get rid of a lot of central pool classrooms. So they're trying to figure out where to pivot that at. Any more questions for business services? Maybe not so many dining oriented ones, De Silva.
This is kind of dining, kind of not. Like it's kind of like it's 1920 Commons renovations. I guess what actions are they like? I guess how are they preparing right now for the 1920 Commons renovations that's going to be starting this summer? Because I believe the plan is, from what I last heard at the trustee meeting, was that they're closing the bottom floor, which includes Stallman's for now, and then they're going to work their way up. So I guess just like what the actions are they doing to prepare now?
Yes, and then also as a response to that, are there any plans or is there anything they're going to try to do in regards to Stallman's being offline? I think there was potential talk about trying to get 39th, the Starbucks at 39th to accept $90, so maybe we can ask about that.
None.
Khalil.
Sorry, I forgot my question.
Okay. We're gonna move on. If you have any more business services questions, please let me know. Next up is career services. Maybe beyond give me an internship. Because I gave an option, because we have 7 admin meetings and I gave an option for people to fill out a form and they didn't do it, so now we have to do it live.
No, it's just kind of crazy. I guess we won't do Zoom from now
on. Mukhtar?
Correct me, slight question for you, Naya. When was the last time we talked to career services about funding the headshot booth?
Mo has had a conversation with them recently that he was able to get $1,000 off of our own paying.
All right. Thank you, Mo. Doing a great service.
De Silva?
I guess in a similar vein to like Mo's like go to deduction of like $1,000. If there's like a long-term strategy in place to eventually make this booth kind of career services responsibility and not so much subsidized by the UA and GAPSA.
Rafa?
Yeah, so I was talking to a bunch of pre-law students, and apparently Penn doesn't like offer like discounts or any kind of like financial support for like LSAT resources. Is there any possibility into looking into that?
I can answer that a little bit. They do offer them. Yeah, thanks, Khalil. They do offer LSAT resources as well as subsidies for taking the test as well.
Wait, for taking the test, but do they like off? I know they offer LSAT sources, but do they offer like?
Yeah, they do, I think, offer.
Thank you.
But we can definitely ask them about like more.
Okay,
Maybe.
wait, I can definitely like, and then because I have students ask me, so I'll just like reach out to them and tell them that.
De Silva?
I guess on a similar vein to the LSAT, do they also offer like, some type of financial aid for the GMAT and MCAT?
Okay.
Trying to fold.
Khalil, did
Just
you have a
about the
question?
GMAT and LCAT and like, I'm sorry if I interrupted. GMAT or LCAT, like all of the tests, the opportunity and emergency funds cover one, I think, one take of the test. Second time, I think if you convince them that they cover all the fees related to, uh, yeah.
Huh, nice. Julia, did you have something?
Yeah, I think it's like I've heard from people that it's been like pretty hard to get an appointment with them to go over certain things. Are they working on that or like expanding their staff? I don't know.
Expanding staff or what?
Like it's just hard to get a consultation with them because they're just very booked. So I don't know if they're working on that or not.
Okay. Other questions for career services?
Internship, please.
Is there a specific question that could be asked around internships for the career services?
I have a question, not really an internship, but more of like, I know that alumni relations are doing like mentorship program to replace like the alumni conversation part of the admissions. Like they're gonna have like mentorship program between like students and alums. Is career services gonna play any role in this? Did they hear about it? Do they want to play a role in it?
Got it. Any questions around like recruitment, career fairs, programming, employers?
Sorry,
Maddie?
I don't know how to raise my hand on here. Um, but I have a question about like career fairs because there are a couple that are like on the UPenn calendar, but then I don't know, like on Handshake, I don't really know. Like I've scheduled like advising appointments like for pre-med through those, but like they also have their like own career fairs. Like, so I want to know like what's the connection between the two and like why is there like a difference? Like I don't understand how to function like both of them at the same time.
Okay. Other questions for career services? Taya.
You know how like when the Harvard Dean of Admissions came for like Harvard Law, she came and gave a talk and it was very well attended. As far as I know, that isn't very common, but I'm wondering if we could have like career service bring in some more like admissions people from say like different law schools, um, especially for people that like are in the humanities, like on the pre-law track, like not necessarily going into IB or consulting, but still want to have those kinds of opportunities to
Yeah, I'll
connect
generalize
with
the question to be
people.
towards grad schools in general, not just law schools. Eddie?
Pre-law. But
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds good.
Yo, it's good. I was gonna say, I was very interested in like, especially for people who are interested in consulting, and I have a lot of friends that are interested in like investment banking consulting. Like with every single year, like the recruitment timelines being pushed up so much, does like career services have any plans in regards to like outreach specifically towards underclassmen to prepare for like the pushed up recruitment timelines specifically for investment banking and consulting.
Gotcha. Good question. David.
Yo, what's up? So a common criticism I hear of career services is that their advisors do not actually help you. So I put it to the test. I booked a few appointments with a few advisors and told them like, I wanted to go into like different things. Um, the thing they kept telling me like that what like if I didn't do consulting, they were just like, okay, look, like we'll just look at your resume, chug it through this like resume, like I forgot the website, but there's a website service that they offer. It's not like offering like actual tangible advice on like how to tailor my resume. They're just like, yo, like please use this like resource we have. I don't want to help you. But when it does come to consulting, I do find that they are pretty helpful. So I'd just like to ask like are they shoot, that is like turn off your floodlights, jeez. Are they what's the question I was gonna ask? Are they like specialized in thank you. Are they specialized in like consulting or like where are their advisors from? What backgrounds are they from, et cetera, et cetera?
So just to clarify, you ran a field study on career services and We're trying to see just clarification.
Maybe.
Okay, thank you for your service. I will ask them about their advisory background.
It was not related to the UI. It was just I was curious. So
What fields were they particularly poor with?
public service. I found that if I told them I wanted to go work for, like Amtrak or like transportation in general, like there was this one advisor who said she specialized in public service and government, but oh, but she didn't necessarily know how to help tailor my resume, and so she just provided me the free resource that they had. That chicken smells.
Can I jump in here because I asked the same question, how do you get your experts from? So they told me that for consulting they have MBA students who are working in consulting firms before, that they plan everything for consulting. However, they have specialized people for each like kind of thing. Like pre-law, they have like someone who's expert in pre-law. And that person did not go to law school eventually, but he's expert in pre-law. That's another topic.
Pork found in kitchen.
Okay, De Silva.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna make you scroll up a little bit. This was actually a question for the provosts, just because I was thinking about it when we were talking about this very kind of like not public service, pre-professional nature to Penn. And I guess what's the policy for like deciding which schools offer sub-matriculations at Penn, and if they'd ever be open to having like the Fell Center, which offers a master's in public policy, also eventually be open for a sub-mat.
It was your first question, how do they choose which schools do have
Yeah,
the
how do
sub-mat?
the schools choose to offer sub-mats? Because like for example, Columbia, their
Oh,
school of like international policy and affairs is like now offering an undergraduate degree. And for most Penn students, it's sub-matting for us.
And what was the other school? The Feldman?
I think it's like the Fels Institute, FELS Institute.
That's correct.
Thank you, Aiden Carroll.
Here at
um,
Penn?
wait,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, Mayor Parker did it.
Julia?
Fells does do sub-matriculation.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I know someone who did that.
Okay.
Yes.
Ryan.
Wait, sorry, I'm doing this on my phone. I just wanted to say, like, I would love to see career services like advertise like their career treks and stuff and other like events a little bit more. Like, my friend went to like on a career trek to New York, and like, I would have loved to have gone if I knew, but I don't know, just like marketing a little bit more, like maybe posting it on social media. Like, I don't ever see any of those things.
Okay. If anyone has any recommendations for how they can better advertise things more generally, please let me know. They always will just ask us directly. Okay. I think we're good for career services. Let's move on to athletics. Ben?
Wait, just one final thought on what Ryan was talking about. I met with the Drexel Academic Initiatives director the other day, and he mentioned he's trying to do something with a lot of the like university services where they do like how we had like a club walk like where everyone did tabling.
Yeah.
He mentioned that he's trying to do something with like having like certain offices like the Drexel Career Services office and like other offices do tabling in the same way that clubs do. So I mean I told him like I think that'd be very difficult on our end to do something like that to get the kind of administrator buy-in, but I thought that like it would be good to share that here.
Well, we do have resource fairs in the beginning of the year, especially for RAs. There's an RA resource fair to grab resources for their residents, and then also I think during NSO there's supposed to be some. Maybe we can ask for more throughout the year, not just in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, just a thought, just something to like share and mention.
Good idea. Carol for athletics.
Yes, ma'am. And I just want to clarify my previous comment about the meeting length was not at all a criticism by Matthews. Just thought it was kind of funny that this is taking longer. I am a big responsibility or at fault for a lot of that, so I'll try to stop asking questions. But athletics, I do have several questions. Attendance numbers. So I believe that VPOL, whoever didn't allow registered events to happen during the football game for homecoming. Did the attendance of the football game actually increase for that? Also, just curious for general attendance numbers throughout the season and I guess for all sports. I don't think they really track it for besides basketball and football, but Curious for those attendance numbers. Curious how NIL is going. With the new player collective, how much are we paying players? Who's getting paid? Are we gonna get better recruits? The basketball team is like they're okay. They're a little bit better, but still not great. Um, um, Also, like, do we get money from when we play in the Big Five Classic? Do we get revenue from that? Do we pay to play in that? Um, yeah, that's it for now. I'll think of more though.
Okay. Mukhtar?
Uh, what decisions do they make to decide what kind of equipment to have in the gyms, specifically Patra? Like, do they have any process for changing that equipment or getting new ones if one equipment's really old?
Okay, I'm not sure if they have a campus rec person in attendance in these meetings, but I'll send this question and hopefully they'll have someone come specifically to answer that question. Any other questions for athletics? Julia?
What is their process for like hiring coaches and like other staff? And like, is it different from the rest of the universities or like, is it unique? I don't know.
Okay. We've also had a lot of firings recently. De Silva, whoa, Carol.
So my brother goes to USC, and from my understanding, if you go to a certain number of basketball games, they'll literally like give you money. Um, so I mean that would be amazing. Our attendance isn't great. Um, I doubt that's something they could do, but curious about that. I know they do giveaways. Like I'd be curious to know how the giveaways go, like how much participation there is for people attending games. Um, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. Any other questions for athletics?
What new changes are going to like be in immediate effect regarding the thing that we signed on
The club sports
last
resolution.
meeting? Yes, the club sports resolution.
Okay.
Another question.
Carol.
Um, I think I don't know if they already do, maybe someone can correct me, gonna have pickleball courts. Curious, like, if you can reserve those, where are they just adding like nets to the tennis courts and putting the lines in, or where those are?
There's new pickleball courts coming.
I well, I got an email as part of Campus Rec, like saying that there's gonna be pickleball shifts. So just wondering more about that.
Okay. Other questions for athletics?
Are there any like updates on like for the FIFA World Cup, like if teams will be practicing on the fields and stuff like that, and how that'll work?
I think they answered this at the last athletics, right? Carol, they said that I think some teams might be using the field, but there's not too much going on with that.
DPS said they were, I think, but I don't know if we've asked athletics. Also, a lot of teams have actually like publicly been announcing where they're training, so it'd be cool to see, like, if they can actually just announce now what nations are going to be here, if any, or it's usually just one per like facility.
Okay, cool. David.
Yeah. So I just want to ask about what athletes use in terms of transportation, like what contracts do they have with like private transportation companies to go to their games and shit. Yeah, that's my question.
What are what are the contracts they have with transportation?
Like what
charter
types
buses?
of transportations, buses do they use? Like with what companies, etc.
Curious also, do we ever charter flights?
Yes. I want to know that too.
Okay. Any other questions for athletics? Final push, guys. One more after this. All right. SRFS. Student registration, financial services, all things, Path at Penn, financial aid, course registration. add drop deadline, which I do have an update on, which will be sent out shortly. So when I said final push, that meant like so
I guess like how like because they told us they were bumping up the timeline to try to push people to finish it a lot earlier just because a lot of people tended like submitted it late last year. I believe that was their rationale. I guess like did they find people like submitting like financial information late? Like I'll out myself, I forgot to submit my CSS a week after the deadline, but we work with it.
Okay. Rafa.
Yeah, so I recently found out that like for exchange students to take courses at Penn, they have to have like a corresponding course in their home institution. So I'm kind of curious how they deal with that and how the communication is across like the student, the university, and like who they talk to basically.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, so for exchange students to take a course at Penn, there has to be a corresponding one in their home institution. So I'm curious how the communication and like the organization works there. Like, do they talk to the student and then they talk to your home university, or they directly talk to the home university to kind of like? Because I've talked to exchange students who've said the process is kind of like dependent on them finding like matching courses.
Okay, Mukhtar.
I guess to De Silva's point, I don't know if this is true or not, but does SRFS, like, can they send like emails to students as a reminder, like, hey, we see you've already submitted like 2 documents here, but you're still missing these requirements.
They do
Just so
that.
that
Yeah, they do that. I got
Okay.
hella harassed.
Ishika.
Then ignore what I said.
Can you ask about the funding policy for highly aided students when they have like a family emergency and they need to travel?
Like to apply for emergency funding?
But like I'm talking about like last minute where like emergency funding isn't like you're not able to put in the emergency funding and wait the few days. Like this is like a very like last minute something comes up. Like what's the policy?
Actually, can I jump in? According to P1P, you just email P1 like the email they have on the website on the emergency funds, and they would look at it like within like an hour. They are pretty responsible like with emergency stuff, and there's also the eye care. It's part of like the emergency fund that works only like on this short term, like few minutes things. So usually they are okay with it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Other questions for SRFS? Jocelyn?
I was wondering because I'm studying abroad in the summer in Mexico, so and the World Cup is happening there, so a lot of the prices are like increasing. So I was wondering if like financial aid for summer abroad is like reflective of like the events and like the World Cup happening in like locations where like that's happening. Does that makes sense?
No, that's a good question actually. David? David?
Yeah, I was wondering how they decide the maximum amount of subsidized loans you can take out. Like what's the process behind it? What's their decision behind it? What's their rationale behind it?
Okay.
Also, on reflection of that, how did they like negotiate the loans partners? How was the process? Because all of these partners, they don't accept international students almost without guarantor, which is an issue for a lot of international students.
Good point. Okay. Any more questions for SRFS? Okay. Thank you all for your patience. I'm so sorry this took so long. In the future, I would still like to try to get these form responses, but we'll need more active participation for this to work. But we won't have 7 meetings back to back, like hopefully again. So I do apologize for this. So lastly, the Penn first term experience survey has been going out. They reached out to me, the director of institutional research analysis reached out to me and asked me to sign on to this email. So there's going to be an email that's going to come out on behalf of is literally going to say on behalf of Nia Matthews, undergraduate assembly president. I don't know what they think that this is going to do in terms of their response rate, but they were really sad that like they only had like 10 responses to this survey. So if you are a first year, um, then please fill out this survey. But then also when you see the survey, don't be concerned. Yeah, Beyonce, that's me. Also originally like the topics form was supposed to be happening during our budget meeting. We obviously didn't know that this was going to be happening for the snow day. So my apologies there. But yes, moving forward, if we try to do this model again, we can send it out in advance. One last thing that I want to say on budget. I know that this period of the season is very, very tense. There's a lot of emotions that go into this, but just I hope everyone keeps their heads up and reminder that everyone is working in within their own good intentions and everyone is trying their best and hardest during this process. I'm done.
Okay. Aiden, can you scroll down, please? I'll make this relatively brief. Interview with DP, how do you see prep? UA steering, next UA steering is on March 3rd. I'll send out an email on Tuesday reminding you all. Notably, EMs, you need to come to 2 out of 4 of them. I had the following one-on-ones the previous week. Nothing too crazy. We can skip all of that. And then I had another off-the-record chat with the DP. We were just kind of gossiping. And then University Council happened. There's a DP article. We just met with Umoja. Okay, now this is kind of important. So here's a bylaw amendment that we're going to suspend the rules for. So, Aiden, can I motion to suspend the rules?
Yes, to do, or what are you
Action.
doing? Hold on. You have to like say what you're suspending.
Motion to suspend the rule to like show a bylaw 6 days in advance before approval.
Okay. Yes. And then was there a second?
Seconded.
Again.
This requires a 2/3 vote. So all elected members in favor of suspending this rule, and this, just to clarify, this would allow us to pass a bylaw now and not wait another week. Please raise your hands using the Zoom function if you're in favor, elected members. I'm just going to check that these are elected members because this is an important vote. I will, when you're sharing, this is a fault of Zoom. When you're sharing your screen, you have to go back to the meeting to be able to react, which is really annoying. So I'm raising my hand as well, just to be clear. Okay. All right. There's someone I'll give like 10 more seconds. Has everyone voted that wants to vote? This is voting in favor of suspending the rules. We have 18. Okay, now everyone please lower your hands. Oh, shit. Okay, we might have had 19 there. There was a flash for a second, but I'll say 18. Hopefully this isn't close. If it's close, we'll do a roll call vote. So please lower your hands if you just voted in favor. Okay, now all opposed to suspending the rules. I'll give 20 seconds or so for folks to raise their hands if you're opposed to suspending the rules. Okay, seeing that there are none, this motion passes. It was 19 no, none against, so clearly passes and the rules have been suspended.
Okay. Do I have a time limit for how long I can talk about?
Yeah, we'll do 3 minutes for this presentation.
Okay. TLDR is there's a current process in which it takes for the UA to post something on behalf of the entire undergraduate assembly. As you all know, we have a recurring call in the DP that's just established. I think it's pretty like slow of a process if we were to take 2 weeks every time to approve a hot topic. This just speeds up the process, specifically where you can you scroll down, Aiden, to the very bottom. I made like a new type of motion. So this is like a motion to consider a press statement. And this would be like a motion to do this, and then we can pass it day of. So what you'll see later today, if this is passed, is a op-ed that the comms team wrote about like a funding crisis, and then we'd vote on it during the GBM, and then it would go through. pretty simple. If this wasn't passed, then every single time we had to publish something, they would have to take like 2 weeks to do it, which obviously would take a lot longer. Yep. Any questions?
And we'll have, sorry, we'll have 5 minutes for questions, which can be extended if needed.
Mukhtar.
Question.
Oh, I can answer or I can speak.
Yeah. I'll yield if you're not supposed to, but no, you're good.
Okay. So what's the intention of, well, I guess maybe I'm starting to phrase it wrong. Who do you expect to bring this motion forward? Is it someone who's already written a statement?
Yeah.
And would the intention or expectation be that that statement was made in isolation or with some consultation slash co-authoring by some UA members?
Technically, it's not mandated that it has to be like a collaboration effort, but obviously, if it's being made, then the article has the UA's name on it, so likely it would have been collaborative. And then I think there's enough room for like a deliberative process to happen where you can veto it down or amend it.
We still have 4 minutes left of Q&A. Are there any other questions or motions? Question?
Yeah, I have a question. It says that like the statement must be sent to the UA body like at least 12 hours in advance. Could you elaborate on like, oh, if there's like a snow day, does that still count? Or like when exactly these 12 hours need to be?
Yeah. I think for emergency messaging, then there's always loopholes to get around UA statements, i.e., we can sign it off as exec like we did with like the compact or like the Mr. Ethan Patel back in the day. But there are like certain limits I think we should place on when signing off as the entire UA. The reason it's 12 and not 24 is that I think it gives a degree of like wiggle room if something important happens on Saturday night and like comms wants to write up something last minute. However, I didn't put it into like 0 hours or like 2 hours just because like perhaps it's not the best idea to rush a statement out and post something rushed. And then the last thing is we can always suspend the rules on the 12 hours and then push something that's presented less than 12 hours. So
Other questions? 2.5 minutes. Does anyone want to move to elapse Q&A maybe?
Motion to elapse Q&A.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay. All elected members in favor, please raise your Zoom hands. Sure, you could lower them. Any opposed? Nah, you're still and Koshi, did you okay. So you guys aren't opposed to this, right? Okay. All right, well that motion clearly passes. We'll now enter pro con debate with speakers alternating. Pro and con questions can also be asked during this time, and they don't contribute to the total time for debate. We'll have 5 minutes for pro con, which can be extended or limited, and 30-second speaking time. Do we have any speakers that would like to go speak for pro?
Wait, sorry, Carol. I have a point of inquiry, but also
Sure.
I'll speak pro.
Okay.
First, do we have pro con debate? Are we voting on this like today? Can we do that? Or do we
We
have to present
suspended the
it
rules
first?
in order to do that.
Oh, never mind. I will speak pro, but I don't know if people want to raise their hands for con. I don't know if you're making a list, sorry.
I could, but we don't have many takers here. Anyone against? We could just have a con speaker just in order to finish this.
I'll
Or I
speak
think
con.
we could Sure. Let's just do that. Let's just go with it. We'll start with Pro. You have 30 seconds, Julia.
Wait, I think this is really good because it's hard in the case of these like very time sensitive statements to push something out. Um, and the amendment like the UA body votes on it is good because it's from the whole body, but it's also hard to get in a time sensitive manner. So I feel like it's a good balance of both. So I'm very proud of this. Yay.
Thank you. Con?
I yield.
Okay. Any other pro or con that would wish to speak at this time, or we could entertain a motion to
Motion
enter
to previous
voting.
question.
There wasn't really a previous question, so I think a
Motion to
better
elapse Q&A.
we could also do that there, but we
Or pro
could
con,
better
sorry.
would be to enter voting procedure.
Motion
enter
to
voting
voting
procedures.
procedure.
Okay, is there a second for that one?
Second.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'm just trying to speed things on a little bit here. All those elected members in favor of entering voting procedure, please raise your hands. And this will be a roll call vote in just a moment. Okay, you could now lower those hands. Any opposed? Once those. Okay, even if you guys are really opposed, I'll give another 5 seconds just to be fair to everyone. Okay, well, that motion clearly passes. We will now enter voting procedure with a roll call vote, which Julia will start in just a moment.
Okay, so pro is you want this to pass
Or
or
we'll do yay.
sorry. Yay. Do you want nay for the other ones?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. All right. Naya,
Yay.
Musab,
Yay.
Aiden,
Yeah. Yay.
Mo.
Yay.
Yay. I vote yay. Okay, Taya.
Yay.
Sorry. Miriam.
Yay.
De Silva,
Yay.
Chinmay.
Pro.
Okay. Tanvi.
Can I abstain?
Yeah, you're allowed to
Oh,
do that. Or
yay.
do you want to abstain?
No, I was just wondering if I could.
Oh, okay. So you vote yay. Okay.
Yay.
Wonderful. Eddie? Okay. Cushy?
Yay.
Shaughnessy?
Yay.
Ben?
Yay.
Aisha?
Yay.
Ishika?
Yay.
Okay. Sorry. Drulu?
Yay.
Stanley.
Yay.
Amira? Samyam?
Yay.
Charmaine?
Yay.
Solon?
Yay.
Sophie?
Yay.
Ryan?
Yay.
Okay. All right. The vote
Wait,
in
I'm sorry. I don't think I was called. This is ZK, by the way.
Oh, my bad.
But yay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, DK, I just totally miss you. I'm sorry. But yay, wonderful. Okay, thank you. 23, the motion passes, 23 yay, 0 nay, 0 abstain.
Sounds
Wonderful.
good. Sounds good.
No,
Okay.
the law of
And
the
then
land.
last thing I'll say is want to echo all of Naya's like words on the budget process, and also huge reminder that like really what we're doing is in service of like 10,000 of your friends, undergraduates, and like people you see every single day on campus. So the budget process is tough, like can be boring. It can also be very emotional, but still remember that like there's still a lot of bigger picture out there. But yeah, okay, that's all from me.
Not too sure how this stuff ended up on here. This is from last week, but again, the guy at Dig is just private security, not ICE. In case anyone forgot. And we will provide more information about the future upcoming budget meetings and how we're going to proceed with that. But assume that we'll, have some form of a budget meeting next week at this time. Of course, that is subject to change. But yeah, that's it.
Okay, hi everyone. Aiden, can you refresh the agenda? I mean, low-key nothing really changed, I guess, but that's fine. So past meetings met with Katie twice, one-on-ones, SAC exec meeting, and then prior to our first budget meeting, I had a few meetings related to the budget, and that's a lot of pre-orientation departments and yeah. And then shout out to Eddie, he also helped me with two of the pre-orientation departments, so that was really helpful. Upcoming meetings, should have probably moved them, but had SAC exec and my one-on-one with Katie. And then as Aiden said, just a little we're gonna update you guys on the budget meetings and the structure for the upcoming weeks in a few days. And also want to echo, Musa and Naya's sentiments about the budget. It definitely can be very rough. We can really get lost in like the small details sometimes, but it is a really huge thing that we do, and it really benefits everyone because everyone on this campus is involved in a student club, and that is one of the things that we fund. And so every decision that we make can influence and impact every student on campus. And then, sorry, okay, the chat is not for me. And then just a little thing that we did talk about last week, but it's worth bringing up again is the UA budget. I know there was a significant increase in the UA's budget, and when looking at it compared to all the other branches and labs and MER and PO programs and NSOAI, you might look like, oh, like, we're getting a major percentage increase and a boost in the budget compared to everyone else. But it's worth to remind ourselves that context matters and numbers don't reflect everything. Primarily, airport shuttles. We used to get $1,000 last year and we got bumped 8,000. So if you look at the number, you're gonna be like, oh, the UA is very biased and funding themselves. But the context behind it is obviously, Penn is not going to fund the service anymore, and we all realize how important it is for the student body. So, of course, we had to increase the allocation, and it's also important to note that we really are not still fully funding it because we're counting on the revenue that we make from selling the tickets and putting it back into funding the program as well. So the allocation is not fully covering the cost of the program. The revenue that we're going to make is also going to go into it. And same thing with marketing. We paid $2,000 to business services last year in the past few years to do the marketing for airport shuttles. So right now, the $1,000 allocation, the number is less than what we used to get last year for the DP. And it's also worth noting that not all the money is going to airport shuttles. So we have worked on reducing that allocation to airport shuttle marketings from last year. And also important to note that the cuts were applied equally, like social cuts across all the branches. But that's everything from me. Aiden, can I have like a little like Q&A if people have any questions about
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
budget? Yeah, like I guess De Silva?
I wanted to ask if Penguin ever followed up with you on, because I know you asked me about like reaching out to them. Did they ever
Mhm.
respond to your contacts about like what they spend their money on?
Yeah, so Penguin did not respond to me, and one other branch, I forgot which one it is. But
I can bump Anna if you'd like.
sure, that would be helpful. I think the bigger discussion with pre-orientation programs is that everyone that I met with shared the sentiment that they don't think that the UA should be funding, but they also think that they do not have support from Penn to run the programs. But as a pre-orientation kid, and a lot of people on this call also have been in pre-org programs, they definitely are very important to build these connections with your friends at Penn, and you come in before Anna Silver, there's 2,000 new kids. You go to with like 60 people and you spend 4 or 5 days. So we do think that it's ultimately benefiting a big population on campus. Just a lot.
I guess would this then be like a topic of conversation we should bring up with the provost's office, just trying to institutionalize like financial support for these prios, as opposed to it always being UA funding it?
Actually, yeah, Naya, that would be really helpful. DUA is not like really funding like a big part of it. It's
I know.
like just a contribution, but definitely we can bring it up with the provost.
Sorry, was
mean,
the question to have the provost fund more of the prios? Is that what you said?
Yeah, we're talking about funding for pre-orientation programs and like handing it off from the UA's money because it should technically receive funding from the university.
Yeah, just trying to find a way to institutionalize
Yeah.
it.
Any other questions, comments, concerns, thoughts?
Wait, Solon put a question in the chat regarding
Sorry.
submissions.
Will clubs that didn't submit their amendments by Friday be able to submit them now? Yeah, I'll send an email as well on that soon. Yeah. Also, reminder for amendments to reach out to me if you have any questions and concerns so we can talk through them. And like when you want to plan on doing those amendments, it's very important that you loop in the UA treasurer plus the branch that's being affected. It's kind of like, a good thing to do, and also, keep everyone in the loop with your thoughts to have the full context of where the money is being spent and why it's being spent. Okay, I guess no more questions. So I'm done. Thank you all.
Okay, I guess it's me. Not much from me today. I have meetings with, Katie and yeah, I have multiple meetings with Katie. And then also Bruce, but that's neither here nor there. So I actually had a completion report. Hopefully it links to the right thing. Yeah. So I finished the Setley Advisory Board. That was a project I've been working on for the past semester. And I have representatives from all the different advisory boards, and I'm really excited for this because I think lots of different groups across the school do academic initiatives, but it's not all centralized in one place where we can hear everyone's voices. And I think it's really awesome that we not only have everyone's voices around a table, we also have like Bruce as sort of a guiding voice to address those big concerns like AI use and open expression, but also some smaller issues like grade forgiveness and drop deadlines based on snow days and all of that stuff. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, that's all from me.
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm sorry. I took like a solid 20 seconds to find Zoom.
That's calm. Don't worry about it.
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna speed run this and hopefully actually no, shoot, because I have to invite Rafa to briefly speak. But quickly for meetings that I'm gonna be having this week, DHT, we're having our like meeting with business services administrators on Friday, 11 a.m. to noon. There's gonna be food and drinks there, so pull up. It's gonna be a fun time. What's it called? I'm meeting with Drexel's VP of, I want to say, facilities. I don't know. I can't find text because I blocked him on my laptop, but I'm meeting with him on Friday, 9 a.m. We're going to be talking about potential initiatives that we could collaborate on between Penn and Drexel, especially when it comes to facilities on both of our campuses. And yeah, we're back to McNeil 410 for our weekly meetings. But I want to quickly also invite Rafa up, if that's okay. I'll yield some time to her, like 5 minutes or so, just to talk about the Transit Advisory Board meeting she had.
Yeah, and I also want to say like Tomvia was there too, so feel free to add on Tomvia as well. But very, very briefly, we had tab on Friday. There were a lot of positive trends: increased rider satisfaction, decreased wait time, decreased cancel rate. There's updated time points and a lot of very positive trends. And then also, I don't know if you guys seen, but recently there was an op-ed that was written by a nursing student about the possibility of like having like the AM medical also extended to nursing students who have clinicals. So we kind of discussed that, and I want to ask if anyone has heard of like any nursing friends who have displayed interest in that. Another thing, so also the use of AI for vehicle dispatch, they're currently looking into that. There are some difficulties in terms of like the significant cost, and they really want to test it out. What else? Yeah, and then as I mentioned, the UPenn Drexel Collab, and then also the project Tommy and I are working on, the PITA, the Penn Transit App Improvement. We looked at the survey with them, and they gave us a lot of really, really good updates, and they're also going to work in tandem with us because they're having focus groups. So that's a lot of very exciting stuff. I know that was very brief, very fast, but if anyone has any specific questions about what I mentioned, please go ahead. And Tommy, if you want to add on anything as well.
Can I
No, I think you covered most of it. Thanks, Rafa.
I'm just gonna add on something quickly. Yeah, this works. Yes. That's I don't attend as you, I attend as Penn first, but like honestly the transit advisory board always gives me a lot of hope because like the people in charge of Penn Transit are really, really like willing to do whatever it needs to make the program better. And like you can see that in their reports, the way they say, the way they take out like initiatives. I really like that. Like respect to them. And overall the numbers really like got better. Like wait time decreased from 20 minutes to 12 minutes. And within like 3 months, ridership increased more than 150,000 on-demand rides within like last 6 months. Like overall, like it's really good trend for the program, and they're like willing to do everything to make it as better as possible.
Yes, Carol, go ahead.
So I was ranting in the group chat about the app. I had a pretty bad experience with Penn Transit on I can't remember what day, Saturday, Friday I think. But um yeah, I was on the phone for 3 minutes before they answered like dispatch. But my question actually was, you mentioned the AI to dispatch folks. Would that mean that they wouldn't have humans, or would they,
I
you
think
know,
what they want to
use
do is,
anyone?
yeah. So what they basically said is they're gonna have it as like, when you like, I don't know if you experienced this system for in other services, but basically you call and then the AI responds and it's able to like in real time have a conversation with you.
The Radian does that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, wait, what'd you say?
The Radian, if you're trying to
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
human.
exactly. So I think they're planning to make it like replace like the manual dispatch like of the back end. But yeah, but they're literally testing it right now. They're in like the starting stages of seeing if it's even possible because it's expensive and then like they don't really trust it fully right now. They're testing it.
And
Yeah.
so
Just to add on
The
that.
Oh, I just wanted to add one small thing. They also wanted to, I guess, get a gauge of if having more notifications about readying people up, like having people get a notification, oh, your ride is here in 3 minutes, as opposed to just like your ride is starting from XYZ location and it's here now, like having an in-between one that's like,
And they want to use the AI for that as well.
Just for
yes.
note, they cannot do anything without like the university permission, kind of, because Penn is being very like restricting about AI use in like their services. Second thing they said about AI, so right now dispatch calls, especially like Penn Accessible Transit, like calls them, hey, your driver got here, so that like makes a delay between like the driver and the passenger. Now they want to do it with AI, so it's faster. So overall, the program looks nice.
It was a great meeting. It was a great meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
sorry, were you still trying to say something?
What was the question?
Just to clarify, so would the AI be making the calls?
No, so yes.
Yes, the program is
Wait,
AI.
okay, there's two parts. There's the part where if you call an AI response, you can talk to them, and then there's the part where the example they gave for this is what Tommy mentioned of like if the car ride is like 3 minutes away, an AI
Yeah.
will call you and be like, your
Okay.
ride is 3 minutes away.
Sounds like to me they're trying to lay off some staff. Also wondering if they're
Actually,
unionized.
the thing that they receive more than like 60 calls, like during the 30 minutes of like their peak time from 7:30 to 8 about like dispatch issues, and like they don't have the workforce for that, and they
Okay.
are like pretty underfunded program at Penn. Like
Yeah,
they
they
are
have
always
big losses,
yeah, they
basically.
always like at loss, and like Penn parking pays for the Penn
Yeah.
Transit.
Yeah, does that kind of answer your question? They're
Okay.
literally working on it right now. There's like so much. It's just starting stages.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious, I don't know, they probably wouldn't have said this, but if the dispatchers are unionized. But yeah,
Yeah, we could
that's
look
it.
into it. I could ask them. Yeah. Right. Ishika.
Hi, Rafa. I have a question regarding like the Penn Transit routes themselves. So on Friday, I was trying to take, oh, I don't know if you can see this. I was trying to take Penn Transit. Oh, you probably can't see it, but
If
essentially
you could
the
just turn off the
routes.
blur filter, I think we would be able to.
I don't know how to do that.
But yeah, so
Wait,
how
but like the routes themselves look different on the app. You can't see it right now because there's no routes available, but I screenshotted this on Friday. Like the routes themselves have expanded to different locations. Did they mention anything about that?
Wait, so what they said was did they
They
mention anything about expanding
so
routes?
they added a new route which is Pennovation, which is gets you
They
from
added
Penn
that.
Innovation to like around
That was
campus.
before.
But it's now in the app. First time in the app.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
so they added the Pennovation route to the app.
But like all the routes are the same. They're gonna change.
Innovation route has always been on the app.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Pennovation
Pennovation
is
has always
separate.
been
It's
on
like
their well, not always, but a month ago. But I don't know if they didn't expand necessarily, but they added Pennovation and yeah, they didn't say, is
They
it
did not extend anything, I'm sure.
they didn't extend anything necessarily. I'm
okay,
not
wait, all
Can,
of the routes just look different than they used to, but we can totally like talk about
can you
this
send me a
page.
screenshot? That would be cool, yeah.
I
And then
got you.
another thing you remind me, I forgot to mention, they're talking about kind of changing the names of the routes because a lot of students have expressed that it's a bit confusing when it's like north, east, west, like north of what. So they might
Which
change,
we are greatly happy about.
yeah,
Very
like
greatly
street
happy
names.
about.
Yeah.
Rather
But
than not even street names, just like landmarks. Not McDonald's kind of landmarks, but like Rittenhouse.
yeah,
It's
and then
pretty
Larger Gatsman, like that type of thing.
exactly. But they didn't say anything about expanding, but we could definitely, if you send a screenshot to me, I could like see. Yeah. Aiden?
I guess, yeah, do you mind speaking a little bit more to the integration of Penn Transit and Drexel Transit? Just because I know like a Penn ID can get you on both.
Yeah, so I think, wait, it was very brief. Tanvi asked this question, but they're basically talking about how, like, I think it was more so having it on the app or having the routes clear for both. Tanvi, can you like check if that's
Yes, it was a very brief answer because it's not something they had looked into before necessarily, but it was basically that they were interested in being able to integrate both routes onto the app and just having that be an option for people.
Got it, thank you. So it's more of a long-term thing.
Yes, it's a long-term thing, and also wanted to also clarify that Drexel does not have on-demand shuttles like we do. And so it would just be like this is another bus route you can take to go from X place to Y place.
Thank you.
And it's a good thing also. They also use TripShot, which is the same external like service we use for the app, so that would be good. But there's a few differences, but they're talking about it. Yeah, David?
I think he's frozen.
Damn, bro.
He's
David,
also
can you
driving.
just put it in the chat, bro? We can answer you. But yeah, so if no one has, oh, hello, David. David, I don't think you have Wi-Fi.
Okay, I think
You see D, but okay, we can just move on later. But yeah, so that was Tab. If you guys have any other questions, please text or just reach out.
thank you so much, Rafa. But yeah, just for some quick project updates, Pete has been doing great. Dining, we had a really good meeting on kind of like refocusing the project, which I'll be texting my committee more closely about. But the one that I'm happy to announce is that housing will now be shifting its gear. The housing team will be shifting its gears more towards getting vending machines in college dorms, especially those that aren't as close to dining halls on campus, as well as getting the emergency maintenance number for Frez on the Penn ID. So that's our long-term projects, but that's about it. Ignore healthy beverages.
Cool. Nothing for AI, right, man?
Yeah.
Cool. CS.
Right. Hey guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the snow. It is really starting to accumulate. Just crazy. Okay, so just a few quick things. I met with Drexel's civic chairs to discuss how CES can maybe collaborate with Drexel because they do a lot of events kind of with the Philly community, such as like care package deliveries and kind of just like voting events. So we'll definitely be talking more about that in CS. But if you guys have any ideas on like some sort of community event you want to do with Drexel, feel free to reach out. And then this is for CES people specifically, but we will be meeting in McNeil 285 again this week. And then for project updates, two very, very exciting updates. Catherine, Jack, and Pablo had a very successful meeting with Penn Labs to discuss how we can integrate UA's resources into Penn Mobile and specifically the project that Catherine completed over winter break. So that is really exciting. And then Khalil had a successful meeting with Mark Lowe to discuss the summer storage pilot. And Khalil, I don't know if you want to like talk about that briefly or like the meal break program.
Yeah, I can talk about it briefly. So I met with Macro like this Thursday to talk about two things mainly, but end up talking more about stuff. First thing is the summer storage program. So I've been working on like kind of summer storage thing. Then I've heard that PMP is working on the same thing. Talked with Macro, they have the funding for it, but they don't have the ways to do it. Like they are trying to coordinate with business affairs, so business services and PSA. So UA will be looped into that, into the negotiation with the new contractor. They are overall trying to get like less fees for all students and subsidized fees for first-generation low-income students. That's the first thing. So we agreed on like to loop in UA into that and help advocate for students in that. Second thing, I'm trying to work on the meal break program. For context, highly aided students who are on campus during the breaks, when like dining halls are not open, they get $25 per day to get food in Philly, which is does not meet any like standards of living in Philly. So our Marklo agreed to like kind of open discussion with financial aids, PMP, UA financial aid about whether increasing that, like restructuring the program, how can we make that better? But what PMP is really willing to do, like push whether for increase or making like dining halls open as much as possible during breaks, which is getting better year by year. And last thing we talked a bit about like spring break, like schedules where he showed me like spring break dining hall schedules. And like I had he got like my opinion about it as like first generation low income students. So yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. And yeah, that is all for me, unless if like Catherine or Jack Pablo, you guys wanted to add anything. Okay, thank you.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Hello again. EI has been working quite hard recently. The Penny Shop group, which for context is supposed to be in this physical building where students can come and bring in their extra stuff like during move out. And people can go and grab stuff from there. They've been working with PFP and NSOAI. They met with them on Friday, and then they're hoping to collab with Penn Student Agencies, I believe. This is Samyam and Nina and a couple others. So sorry. I don't know if anyone else has anything else they want to add to this from that group. Okay.
Only thing is we're meeting with them next Friday, not last Friday.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you're good.
And then second, the 24-hour study spaces group. They've been working to try to expand 24-hour study spaces on campus. I think they're having to shift a bit more to just focusing on expanding hours for underutilized spaces on campus. I think maybe they met with Gary on Friday. This is sorry, I'm slacking. Who is in this group? Morlake and Charmaine and Sophie. I think they review data on underutilized spaces here on the campus. If anyone from this group has anything to add.
Yeah, we did meet with them both on Friday, and we were able to look at data for like all of the libraries up till midnight throughout the day. And then he's also getting more data from us, and our next step was to talk to Penn Labs about some of the libraries that aren't like able to be reserved, because we only also looked at like GSRs, like the reservable rooms.
Right. Wonderful. Completion report. Alex has been working on a UA directory for all the terminology that we use on the UA that doesn't necessarily make sense. Alex, do you want to talk to this?
Hi guys. Okay, so basically like my thought process behind like this directory was like when I first initially started within the UA, I was like a bit confused with all the different acronyms. I know that a lot of like the exec members like reference like all these different offices that they're meeting with, but like as like a new incoming freshman, I was like a bit confused as to like what they specifically do. And I felt like it kind of also gave me like a lack of confidence in like contributing to these questions because I didn't know if I was understanding these offices completely. And I kind of wanted to create this directory to kind of like move it forward and help like new onboarding members like for the future sessions that we have and like current members as well. Like if anybody had any like doubts or like didn't know exactly what a specific office does, I like made this resource to be able to help others. And yeah, thank you for helping, and thank you, Niall, for the support.
No, of course. Yeah, Alex put in a lot of work, got this done pretty fast. So now this now sits in the drive underneath internal housekeeping, I believe. So thank you, Alex, for putting this together. So now at any point, if you guys need to refer to some of the acronyms that we use, you can look over this. And then of course we can expand as it comes along. So if anyone has any like ideas is like, oh, like let's add this, just reach out to Alex and then he can add it. And that's all from me.
What? Why are you laughing?
Because David put in a moaning emoji.
Oh, we're on YouTube Live. Comms.
Okay. Last, like on Friday, I had a meeting with two Drexel representatives from the student government, which was cool. I met with their like basically other marketing or comms director, and then also their chair for student organizations, which is interesting. They had a lot of questions about like how we function, what works for us, and I had some questions for them too. And we were also discussing like potential future collaboration, either between our comms departments or even like whole student governments. So yeah, it was nice to touch base with them, hear how their student government works. Then we have our newsletter coming out tomorrow. We also we filmed a video, a reel for like budget with Mo. It came together pretty nicely, but I think we're gonna put it on hold for now, just because I think like budget season has gotten pretty serious and we don't want to like make too much light of things and make people kind of upset or uncomfortable. So yes, that might go to the spam. We'll see. And then the main thing that I wanted to bring up, could you refresh the page, Aiden? Thanks. Is our first DP column article, which I'm hoping to send to the DP like tonight or tomorrow morning latest. So I know I didn't give you guys too much time to review it, but Aiden, if you could open it up,
Yes.
maybe
Maybe
we
we
could
could
get
just
like a minute to read through it.
yeah, we could just do this in new business, just
Oh,
because that's what the new bylaw says. But
okay.
sorry.
But yes, we'll
Just
bring that to new business then.
okay. Do you have anything else?
That's about it from
No.
comms, unless people have questions.
Newsletter coming out. We're paying for Squarespace now. We got that
Yes.
subscription for the
Yep.
the newsletter, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's on my P card, which I got special permission to do because it doesn't like Angela's card. Anyway,
Can we move to new
any
business?
oh, yep, sorry. Did you still have things?
No, that's it.
No. We're at 2 hours and 14 minutes, which is just astonishing. I really thought this was gonna be like a 30-minute meeting. Anyway, almost done, hopefully. Any documents to consider? Are there any, let me get this verbiage correct. Any motions to consider a press statement?
Yes, me.
Is there a second?
Second.
And this is just to consider the document, so to actually look at it. We're not actually voting on it now. Do we have all elected members in favor of considering the document? Okay. You guys can lower your hands. Any opposed? All right. This motion clearly passes. We will now entertain, or we have entertained this document, and we'll review it. We'll do 3 minutes for presentation. I don't know who's
A
presenting it, but
presentation.
the clock's running.
Okay, sorry.
Someone should.
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to, but Musab, you are allowed to step in if you want to add anything to this. Basically, this is the first column that we're putting out for the UA's like DP opinion column. We wanted to focus on budget because we think that's very relevant. Basically, what this article does is like outline that there's a big funding issue, that we are not getting enough money to fund like student activities and undergraduate life, and then basically outline what the UA is trying to do to mitigate that problem or address that problem. Mainly, we talk about how we're like really focusing on prioritizing SAC this budget season because they've doubled in size, like in terms of how many clubs that they have. And so we want to try and help them with that, as well as passing things like the club sports resolution so that we can alleviate some of the pressure that we have. We really want to focus it on like how we want to have the majority of undergraduate students benefit from these budget decisions. So just like thinking about the general student body and how they can benefit. Yes, if people have questions, you're welcome to ask. I think that's about it. And yeah, we wanted to keep the tone like fairly conversational, like this is an opinions article, but obviously keep it like fairly well written at the same time. I yield my time.
Yeah, sure.
Or
We'll do 5 minutes for Q&A.
okay, cool.
Any questions?
Oh, perhaps the one question is maybe we need to reword our budget will be finalized before spring break.
Will it definitely not be finalized before spring break? Is that not the rules?
Well,
Wait, sorry, what are you trying to, hold on, what are you trying to do here?
Wait, we just mentioned in the article that our budget will be finalized before spring break, but we don't know if we should maybe edit or take that
I would
out
just strike that
because yeah, we can take that out.
if
Um,
you're amenable to that.
I'll just change it to like the changes are happening fast, like in the coming weeks.
Could we maybe do it now just so the body can see the version that we're about to approve? Okay. Great. Is that all you wanted to change?
I think so.
Is that good? It's the only change you wanted? Okay.
At least from our end, I don't know
Okay.
if other people have
Questions?
questions.
Khalil.
First, great work, team. Like our communication is like really, really good. Every time I open the like newsletter or like the Instagram, they're always like amazing. I'm always amazed. Just a quick question about like op-eds. It's really well written. I took a look at it before the meeting, but what's like the needs to have an op-ed? Like, why are we having op-eds? And like, what's like the bigger vision? How would this op-ed is kind of clear, but how would they look like in the future? And how much the GP would have like power in editing these, because op-eds are kind of have very structured way of writing, and the GP is kind of like strict about it. How much freedom would we have?
So at least according to the meeting that we had with Ingrid, I think like we have a little bit of flexibility and our articles are probably going to look a little bit different than general opinions articles. Just because like this is going to be the UA column and we're just putting it in the like guest opinions section. I think we're going to kind of go case by case and see what relevant issues come up in terms of like content and topics. But the goal is, I think, to like just connect with the student body. Like obviously we have articles written about us by like Rachel or other like DP members, but none written by us. And yes, we have the newsletter, yes, we have Instagram, but I think the DP is something that rarely reaches a lot of students. So, you know, when there is a topic, for example, like our thoughts and processes on budget, like that's something that we want a lot of people to see. And yeah.
Thank you.
If that makes sense. So
Do you mind if I just quickly jump in with another question?
No.
So, like, reading this, I guess since we're voting on it today, but like we don't know the budget, like if the
Yeah.
final budget until after spring break, is it wise to immediately say that SAC funds clubs will be seeing an increase in the upcoming year? And Mo, I guess I'd love your perspective as well.
Yeah, Mo can jump in as well. I think for the most part, we tried to be a little bit more vague on like specifically what our plans are with the budget. Like we didn't add anything about like cutting any kind of social funds or internal funds. We really just focused on SAC because that is something we're hoping to prioritize. But Mo, feel free to
So
step
maybe we
in.
can change like we're prioritizing or we're aiming or like hoping. Just good catch and stuff like
But I think we can probably keep it as is for two reasons. The first is that it's pretty direct and pretty concrete. The second is even if every single amendment passes, I highly doubt we're gonna like admit
Cut
every single
SAC.
change we made to SAC. Like I think at a
Yeah.
bare minimum, we're gonna at least see like a 5-digit increase.
Yeah, you could argue like the 13,000 for music department will good.
Exactly.
So I
Yeah.
guess we'll just keep it. Yeah.
Can I jump in the discussion?
Sure.
It's fair that most likely that SAC funding will stay or hopefully increase by the amendments.
Mm.
However, like saying that in the op-ed like limits the amendment cycle. Maybe someone will propose an amendment by like next Friday to give all SACs money to another branch. We don't know that. Maybe members from the UA vote on that. So like that would be really controversial. If that's anything or any decrease happens.
Do you think it's a bad thing to restrict
Are
it?
you saying like, yeah.
What do you say, Masam?
Like there could be some benefit from putting in like a subtle pressure by saying that SAC is gonna get an increase.
True, but like it may be seen also bad by like other branches.
I
I
would
think like the
still
logic
say
we had when writing was very much like if we didn't include a concrete change, it'd be very unclear as to what the UA is bringing to the table in terms of fixing this issue. So I think it just brings it more like the average like person at Penn is like, oh my God, like the UA is actually increasing the funding.
Sorry, question. Why is there a reason for us to be putting this out before the finalized budget is decided on?
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, this
Sorry if I can interrupt. We have surpassed 5 minutes. We can extend Q&A if we'd like.
Motion to extend Q&A.
By how long?
3 or so minutes.
Second.
3? We'll go with 3. Okay. I'll elect the members in favor of extending Q&A by 3 additional minutes. Okay. We can lower the hands.
can I
You wanna
respond to
keep
the
going?
last
No. We
question?
haven't done that. We haven't done the opposed yet.
Oh.
Sorry. And then all opposed to extending debate. Give it a quick moment if anyone wants to raise their hand. Okay, that motion clearly passes. We'll have 3 more minutes for debate or for Q&A.
Can I just answer the last question?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Wait, I'm looking back at the paragraph where we talk about the SAC budget, and I feel like it is still very like nothing is set in stone. Like we say, this is what we're going to prioritize. We aim to reallocate this. So it's not like we are doing this. It's more just like our goals, priorities with the budget. And that's like kind of the goal of the article to like highlight a funding issue and then show what our goals are and like how we're trying to fix the issue. That makes sense. Hello, I can answer your question.
Not really question, just like counter argument. Not mine, but like it may pop
So
up.
sorry, wait. Just because we're just gonna reserve this time for questions. We will debate this in a moment, but just because we only have a few more minutes for questions, if you have a question, you can ask. But I'll have other people ask questions if not.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, you can ask a question. Just we'll debate in a second.
Yes. Did you like consider any other branches to talk about other than like SAC? I think you mentioned MERT somewhere out.
Wait, we mentioned Met and like that we fund them and that they're also like facing like harsh budget cuts and like feeling the brunt of the funding issue. But we didn't necessarily add that like we're making a zero change to them or anything something like that. If, yeah. Aiden.
I guess, yeah, and I guess this question is both for you and Musab, since Musab, you're the one that raised the point, but do you think it is a good idea to kind of say or to publish this opinion column with like certainty where we're saying, quote, and SAC clubs will see an increase in funding in the in the upcoming academic school year? Just because is that the best idea to do, like as we're trying to encourage members to be more involved with the budget and not to be afraid with making amendments, like kind of putting them into this box?
Yeah, I do. I
Do you think
mean,
it's a good idea to put them in the box?
yeah. Wait, I mean, feel free to like, if you want to put an amendment to decrease SAC's budget by $30,000, I mean, I'd love to debate it, but um, I think it's fine to put the goals on prioritizing SAC. Otherwise, it's unclear what the value proposition of the article is.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna ask my question again, maybe because like it wasn't, but I'm just kind of confused. Why are we in such a rush to put this up before the budget is finalized? Like I understand that it's like I think we all want to see an increase in SAC funding budget, but like just saying like, oh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. Like although it's very, very likely, I don't know if it's just me being like anxious, but it does kind of feel like we're shooting ourselves in the foot in the sense of like this will happen. Like I kind of I wanna well yeah, my first question is why can't we wait until the budget is finalized?
I think it's
And
narrative setting.
we're
Like,
just about to hit time, so just answer
Yeah.
real quick and then we're gonna hit time.
Okay, Musab, go ahead.
yeah, I think it's narrative setting. Like we introduce a problem that's happening, and then the DP reports on our past budget in a couple weeks, and it's like, oh my God, look, the UA solved this issue that's happening. So I think it works more like chronologically better in the minds of this random student.
Okay, so we're gonna have this and then we're gonna
And
have another one when the
I'm
budget is
So like the
finalized.
so
DP would
sorry.
report on us.
Excuse
The
me.
DP will.
So
Sorry,
sorry.
Carol.
No, it's okay. We have reached time. If we want to extend Q&A, we can. We will have a pro-con debate in just a moment.
Wait, can we still make like
You can
friendly
ask
amendments?
questions in pro-con debate, and that does not count towards the total time for debate.
No, my question is, can we still make friendly amendments?
Uh, yeah, we kind of informally did that, but yes. This is also slightly uncharted territory, so my apologies for the um newness. I guess this is a document, so we can follow a similar procedure for friendly amendments in that
So,
regard.
what would you like for me to do?
Sorry.
What would you like for me to do?
Well, what are you trying to do? Also,
Make a
like, is
friendly
this a point of
amendment like a sentence? Like I'm asking you, when can I make this? When can I do this?
oh, yeah, I mean, I would probably ask for that now.
Okay. Um, I think in regards to that one sentence that essentially guarantees club funding will be increased, I don't think it's harmful to just change it just a little bit to say that SAC's increasing SAC's budget is a priority of the UAs this year. And I think that will help with some of the hesitations with passing this.
Is that in the line, and SAC clubs will see an increase in the upcoming academic year?
Yeah.
We changed that.
And so instead, like an increase in SAC club's budget is a priority for the UA this upcoming academic year.
And just to do this by the book, is this considered a friend? Whoever, I guess, Taya, you're the proposer. Is this a friendly amendment?
As in, like, do I mind changing it?
Yes.
I think that's okay.
Okay. So we'll adopt this unless two members of the UA object. Just to say. And just because we didn't do this formally for the previous time that we edited it, are there any objections to the previous portion that was edited, which removed the line about doing it before spring break? No. Okay.
Wait, Naya, is this what you wanted to say? Or how did you want to phrase it?
No, instead of the will see a prioritized increase, like get rid of the will, anything that guarantees it, just say that, like what Rafa said, we're working to increase SAC's club budget in the
Yeah,
upcoming
our budget will be finalized in the coming weeks, and the UA will make sure to prioritize SAC clubs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh boy. This is rough.
Stop it.
Can we just say like in the UA will aim to increase SAP or UA will be working towards this? I feel like that makes me
And the
seem
UA.
Is this friendly?
Can
What
I
do you want to
say
say about
something?
that?
I'm
Can I
trying.
say some-
It's
can I say
really
something? What if we change it to like budget committee so that if people don't agree, at least it is one of budget committee's priorities? That way maybe people would not have an issue with that.
Oh boy, this is
Sorry,
turning
this is
into
too much,
a
Aiden.
bit of a mess. Yeah, hold on.
Protection,
Let's just try to
Okay.
go one at a time here. And yes, okay. So who's saying what at the moment? Who wants to change something?
Me, I guess.
Okay. Okay. If you're up, what would you like to change? What would you like to
I
say?
guess they had just added it, but instead of saying like the UA's budget committee that way, if someone
Okay.
refers to it, it's not like everyone on the UA, it's just people on budget committee.
Okay. And that's friendly, Taya?
That is friendly.
Okay. Are there any members that object to that? If two members object, then we can overturn that or we can debate it.
Can I?
You object.
No, I'm not objecting.
Are we gonna
Naya
enter
just
the-
put the wording
Okay.
for her amendment in the chat, and I feel like that's friendly. So
So there's another amendment.
It's the same amendment. It's the
I
word.
it's
see.
kind of what she said. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other amendments? We're sort of in a dead period right now. But we'll start pro-con debate in just a moment if there's nothing else to change. We will do we'll do 5 minutes for pro-con debate. Technically, you have 3 minutes. The cap is at 3 minutes. I hope that it can be shortened. We can or actually no, you know what? So I have discretion. No, we'll do 30-second speaking time. Pro-con alternating. Do we have people that would like to speak pro? And again, questions can be asked during this time and they do not contribute to the total time of debate. Anyone that would like to speak
Point of
pro?
order, sorry, pro-con for the whole like thing or for the amendment?
All the amendments were friendly because there were no
Oh, okay,
objections, so this is for the entire document
Okay,
to
great.
approve
Thank
this. Okay, are those two hands to speak in favor? Yes? Okay. Khalil, okay. I'll go Khalil, actually I'll go Khalil and Naya. And then any against, any con? We could maybe have one con so both of them can go.
I'll speak on.
Okay.
But
We'll
if
start
there's
with
no,
Oop,
if
sorry.
there's no actual con, can we just elapse it? If there's nobody's actually doing con, can we just elapse it?
We could if someone wants to
Wait, doesn't it have to be alternating though?
but I
Wait, but
believe
if no one
someone
wants to speak con, then that's his point. So
we
then we
could
could
someone
wait.
can make a motion to
Motion to elapse Q&A and move to previous question.
well,
Oh,
we're not
yes.
sorry,
No, motion
Sorry.
to elapse pro-con debate and
Oh,
move
so
it.
yeah, yeah, whatever.
Second.
move to voting procedure?
Yes,
Okay.
moving to
Okay.
yes.
Thank you. All those elected members in favor? All right, and this is on the motion to enter voting, just to be clear, we're not voting on it right now. Okay, any opposed, if you all could lower, sorry, before we do oppose, if you could lower your hands first. We're never doing Zoom again, by the way. This is brutal. Okay, any opposed to entering voting procedure? Okay, even if that's true, we will now enter voting procedure. It will be a roll call vote because this is essentially a document. So we'll do a roll call vote. And now we are voting on approving this document, and it will be hopefully published in the DP shortly. And this will be on behalf of the undergraduate assembly.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, Naya,
Bro.
Hey.
Hey.
Musab,
Hey.
Aiden,
Yay.
Mo.
A.
I say A. Taya.
A.
Miriam.
Abstain.
Aiden De Silva.
Abstain.
Chinmay. Okay. Tanvi.
Abstain.
Eddie.
A.
Cushy.
Abstain.
Shaughnessy.
Yay.
Ben.
Yay.
Aisha.
Yay.
Ishika.
Wait, I'm honestly really confused on like these voting rules. Can you clarify what abstain means, please,
Yeah,
Carol?
abstain means you neither vote A or nay. So you're saying you just like by putting forth abstain, you neither vote pro this or con this. You just abstain from voting, which means your vote, um, Carol, correct me if I'm
It's
wrong,
essentially a no vote because we
no
need to
vote.
we need a majority to pass this.
Yeah,
So
I'll
and
abstain.
also anyone can change their vote now that they have that information. But
abstain.
sorry.
Okay, I'll
One
abstain. Thank you.
Okay. Ryan, or sorry, no, sorry. Not you, Ryan. Yes. Drew Lu. Okay. Amira. Samyam.
Abstain.
Charmaine.
Yay.
Solon.
Abstain.
Sophie.
Abstain.
Ryan. Lauren.
Yeah.
And ZK.
Abstain.
Hold on for 5 seconds.
Yeah, we can look at this for a second. I just want to make sure we're at the right threshold.
And make sure at quorum.
And this needs a majority vote to pass.
Yeah, simple majority.
Okay. Then it passes.
What's the count?
Why was that hard, bro?
Damn. What's the vote count?
I thought you were looking, sorry. It's 12 pro, 0 con, 9 abstain. We have quorum, so it passes.
Great. Are there any motions to consider? Any other press statements or documents? I actually have a okay, wait, trolling. Sorry, you have something, Rafa.
Wait, I'm so sorry. There was something I didn't mention in like open forum. Like, can I just mention here real quick, or is that not?
Yeah, is it new business related? Like,
Yeah, I guess it's
UA
just like
Core?
a really quick comment I just want to say.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so we had iStar International Students Table for Advocacy and Relations last Friday, and we're currently preparing for our conference in April, the IPOG International Peer Outreach Group, where we bring a bunch of like important administrators to talk about all things international students. And we're currently working on like an agenda for discussion. So if there are any students here, like international or not, that have ideas that you think would be cool for administrators to discuss, reach out and send them to me. That would be really cool. That's That's all. Thank you.
Anything else for new business? Sorry it's taking so long. For the record, I was gonna cancel GBM, but exec said I had to do it. I'm just kidding, but
Aiden wanted you guys in person in Huntsman.
He did want you guys in
I did.
person
I
in
actually called
Huntsman.
I actually called the Huntsman desk and they're like, yeah, we're still open. Anyway,
Move to
all
adjourn.
right. Yeah. Do you have is there a second?
Second.
All those elected members in favor? Okay, you can lower your hands. Any opposed? I think that's over half anyway, but just for the fun of it, we could wait another couple minutes, see if there's any opposed. Okay, even if is three, that motion clearly passes. I'm sorry, I need to stop these texts. It's getting blown up here. Motion clearly passes. We are adjourned. Thank you all so much. This has been one of the longest meetings we've had the entire year, even though we're on Zoom. Sorry about that. Hope you all enjoy the snow day. Hopefully get another couple days off. Have a great one.
Bye, guys.